Leo had rehearsed this moment in his head 100 times, but nothing prepared him for the real thing. "We're letting you go." His boss's voice was as dry as the gray office walls. "Budget cuts. Restructuring. It's not you, it's the company." Leo sat frozen, hands gripping the armrests of his chair. 6 years of work, gone in a 2-minute conversation. A cardboard box, a final handshake, a security escort to the door. And just like that, it was over. At first, he called it a break, a chance to reset. But by the second month, it was clear this wasn't a break. This was survival. Rejection stacked up. "We regret to inform you, after careful consideration." Unfortunately, at this time, each email felt like a punch to the gut. Leo wasn't alone, though. There was Mike, a software engineer, replaced by AI. He spent hours applying to jobs, only to be ghosted. He joked that he had better conversations with ChatGPT than real recruiters. And Sandra, a senior HR manager, laid off after a company merger. She went from leading interviews to begging for one. Then there was Ravi, a restaurant manager. His workplace shut down overnight. No savings. No backup plan. He took any work he could find, Uber, grocery deliveries, just to keep his kids fed. Different stories, same struggle. They sat together in a cafe, sipping coffee like it was liquid hope. No one said it out loud, but they all knew they were fighting to stay afloat, and the water was rising fast. By month 3, Leo was desperate. 80 applications, dozens of interviews, 0 offers. One company put him through 5 rounds of interviews, 5 hours of preparation, endless questions, and then silence. No rejection email, no explanation, just nothing. His bank account was shrinking, his confidence even smaller. His mother called every week. Maybe a government job? Something stable. Sam, his best friend, tried to keep him positive. Maybe this is the universe telling you to do something new. New? Leo didn't want new. He wanted his old life back. That night, after yet another rejection, Leo snapped. He grabbed his phone, scrolling through LinkedIn. Everyone seemed to be thriving. Excited to announce my new role at. Honored to be promoted to. Leo wanted to throw his phone across the room. Instead, he threw himself outside. The city was alive. Neon lights glowing, rain turning the pavement into a mirror of colors. He walked aimlessly, hands stuffed in his hoodie pockets, heart heavier than ever. He passed a street musician, his guitar case half full of coins. A small store window had a sign, "Help Wanted." Then a flyer caught his eye. "Freelancers wanted. Work on your own terms." He hesitated. Freelancing? That wasn't real work, right? Or was that just his pride talking? The next morning, Leo sat at his desk, staring at a blank screen. Then, before he could second-guess himself, he typed, "Freelance marketing available. Need branding? Social media? Let's talk." He hit post and waited. Nothing happened. An hour passed. Then 2. Then a notification. A former colleague needed help with a campaign. Then another message. A small business wanted advice on Instagram ads. Leo blinked at the screen. Was this actually working? Weeks passed. Leo took every gig he could. Social media campaigns, branding consultations, website strategies. No bosses. No pointless meetings. No waiting for permission. It was messy. It was unstable. But it was his. One afternoon, he sat in a cafe, presenting a marketing strategy to a startup founder. His voice was strong. His ideas? Confident. This wasn't just survival anymore. This was a business. Then the phone call. Leo, we have a full-time role for you. Great company, benefits, stability. The job he had been waiting for months ago. He stared at his laptop. 3 new clients had just emailed him. A few months ago, he would have jumped at this offer. Now, he exhaled, smiled slightly, and said, I appreciate it, but I think I'm building something better. For the first time in months, he wasn't waiting for someone else to say yes. He had given himself permission to leap. Losing a job isn't the end, it's the pause before the leap. Leo thought unemployment was failure, but it forced him to discover something new. Mike realized automation wasn't killing his career, it was pushing him to adapt. Sandra found that rejection wasn't personal, it was just redirection. Ravi learned that survival mode doesn't last forever, but resilience does. Sometimes the job you lose isn't the one you needed. Sometimes it's just the universe pushing you towards something better. If you're out of a job, remember, this isn't the end. It's a pause, a reset, a chance to build something new. Because when one door closes, sometimes you don't need to wait for another one to open. Sometimes you build your own.